4,500 people. The big opening match of the second phase of the ISL between Kerala Blasters and ATK drew only 4,500 people to the stands. This is even lesser than the time when the Manjappada decided to boycott the Kerala Blasters vs Jamshedpur game on December 4th. What has gotten into football fans? Are they no longer interested in the ISL since India's exit at the Asian Cup? That's what we discuss in this episode of Indian Football Roundup. So let's dive right into the matter. Why was the attendance so low in the Kerala Blasters vs ATK game? It's not the only game that saw less attendance as well.
Yeah, to be fair to the Kerala Blasters fans, they've really not had anything to cheer for. But again, that is no excuse for not turning up to the stadium. If you have a problem with your club, you go to the stadium and voice your opinions about the problem. Staying away is never a solution. Staying away is something that customers do. When they don't like a product, you stay away from it. And given that they've so explicitly mentioned their supporters and not customers, this seems a little bit weird. But yeah, as you said, it's not been the case in just Kerala. There was barely any crowd in Guwahati when Northeast played Chennai FC. It was on Republic Day, but there was a band called in Assam on Republic Day, so that might have been one of the factors, because the stadium in Guwahati is a little bit farther away from the city, and without public transport might have been difficult for a lot of people to get there. So Northeast played Delhi Dynamos on the 7th of February, so if you get better attendances, then you can put this down to just one day being the band and all of that. Again, Mumbai, there were 4,500 people, which is the norm for Mumbai. There were around 12,000 in Goa, which is the norm again. So yeah, I think we can just put that down to one bad day, like in terms of circumstances in Guwahati, and the Kerala Blasters fans just being disillusioned with everything that's going on at their club.
Okay, so what can be expected in the future? Are the games going as expected? Are they exciting?
They haven't been. All four games have been different levels of boring, if I may use the word. It's been very, very... There's been a pre-season feel about it, like the commentators on air have been saying. Teams haven't got back to that good pace of the game yet. Northeast vs Chennai was a very good game, but because Northeast dominated Chennai so much, they had so many chances. Mumbai vs Bengaluru was a decent game for a little bit. Was boring for a little bit, but it was more boring because Bengaluru weren't good. They couldn't create too much going forward, so that made it a little less spectacle. The biggest surprise was in Fatorda. You expect FC Goa to score a lot of goals, play entertaining football, but apart from the last 15 minutes, that was boring too. So you can't blame the style of play or anything for crowds not turning up, because you turn up irrespective to support your team, but this might also be one of the factors that's led to people staying away.
Okay. While that has been the case with the ISL, the I-League is not facing any sort of problem with respect to attendance. The Kolkata Derby between Mohun Bagan and East Bengal had about 62,000 people. Although 66,000 people attended the previous one, you can more or less see a consistency there. Also, the top of the table I-League clash between Real Kashmir and Chennai City FC, which was held in Srinagar a couple of days ago, it had about 12,000 people, which is a huge number for Srinagar. While ISL is struggling, I-League seems to not be having any problem with its exciting finish to the league as well. So what do you think is happening there?
The I-League's headed towards a fantastic finish in the title race, as usual. It's been the case for the last 3-4 seasons. The title race has gone to the last day. It's been a lot of excitement heading into the business end of the season. But this is my pet peeve with the I-League, that every year there's a different team who's doing well. There is no consistency. The only consistency that we see is that Shillong Lajong are not in the title race. See, Aizawl won in 2017. They finished very low on the league table last season. Minerva won last season. They are 7th in the table this season. So I think the fact that you're losing so many players to ISL clubs every year, you're not able to build a proper squad for these I-League clubs, is hitting them, especially for the smaller clubs. Because irrespective of how East Bengal and Mohun Bagan are performing, there's always the pull of going to East Bengal or Mohun Bagan. This is not there for the other smaller I-League clubs, which is hurting them a little bit in terms of their consistency. So with Minerva, they won the league last season. They're heading into an AFC Cup campaign this season. You want them to build some sort of form going into the AFC Cup, but they haven't been able to do so. It was the same thing with Aizawl last year. So I mean, I-League's exciting, all that's fantastic, but the fact that this whole merry-go-round is happening is not great for the league, is what I feel.
Okay. Well, that's it about attendance. Even Neroka is drawing a lot of interest with its stadium numbers. It's throwing up at least 15,000 for its home matches. We hope to see that happening in other centres, especially in Kochi. It's really time to get behind your team, at least at this juncture. And that's it from us in this episode of Indian Football Roundup. Log on to Sportskeeda.com for our full coverage of both these leagues, ISL and I-League, and keep a lookout for these videos. Thank you.